Good morning, and welcome to Burnout Conversations in the Park. I'm your host, Katie. I'm a registered nurse, a nurse leader, and a functional medicine certified health coach. And after experiencing my own burnout, I am now on a mission to help other nurse leaders recover from and prevent their burnout. And today we are going to be talking about the foundation. All right, so what is the foundation? Well, everyone has one, but it doesn't get talked about a lot. And it is basically your life foundation. It is all the things that keep you running and keep you functioning, but also thriving as an individual. And it's based on some fundamental things like sleep and nutrition and your social relationships and your connections and how much time you spend with the people in your life and how you manage your stress. Is it healthy management? Is it just getting by? How you move. It's all the things that make you a healthy, functioning individual, and we don't talk about it enough. And so when we think about nurse leader burnout, what we often find is that people are so fast to enroll leaders into training programs. Have this difficult conversation class, and here's a budget class, and here's how to be a servant leader, and here's how to be a transformation leader. Oh, and go and get your master's. Oh, and then don't stop there, go and get your doctorate. And the entire time we are just focusing on nursing leadership and all the skills and knowledge you need to be a good nurse leader. And where we drop the ball time and time again. We did it before the pandemic. We did it during the pandemic. Unfortunately, we are still doing it now in a post-pandemic world. We are not focusing on the person. We are not focusing on the individual that is going to have to take all of these leadership skills and knowledge and apply them on a daily basis, a monthly basis, a yearly basis. We don't do that groundwork. We just assume that everybody has a strong foundation because you were able to become a leader, right? So you must have some resilience and you must have everything together, and your foundation must be super strong. You must not be waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You must not be running on more caffeine than you know what to do with. 2 o'clock energy drinks, 6 shots of caffeine in the morning. No. You must have everything together. So we're just going to bypass that, and we're going to go straight to the skills and the knowledge you need to lead your team. And this is where we fall on our face. And because we don't focus on the person and we're not focused on their individual foundation, we then have to become reactive when the systems start failing. Like when the personal systems start failing and the leaders are exhausted and they're overwhelmed and they're fried and they have not had an outlet to get rid and discharge some of this energy and some of this stress, then the internal systems start falling apart. And that looks like first your sleep gets disrupted, and then you start, focusing and eating not the greatest foods in the world. Then you start looking for more caffeine and more sugar and sometimes leaning on alcohol. And the system starts slowly breaking apart. And not a lot of people look at this like this is a red flag. This is a huge red flag. But then it keeps going. If you don't intervene, you don't take care of it, it keeps going. And over time, all that stress, it starts creating like actual physiologic problems. So much inflammation is happening in the body. And we are just sitting here not talking about it, not doing anything about it. We're just expected to run staff meetings and to handle this HR problem and to figure out how we're going to solve that quality issue. And don't forget, we have this risk assessment that we need to do. And we have to go meet with risk and quality because we have an RCA to do for some terrible event that happened. And on and on and on. We know how it goes. What we don't do is go back to the beginning and focus on the foundation. So then over time, over years, people start developing things like high blood pressure and diabetes and high cholesterol, and they're putting on weight that they can't lose, and they're overwhelmed, exhausted, so tired that they just keep going back to the same things that they knew how to do, which was more caffeine and more sugar. Then we start going down the path of autoimmunity. We're seeing more autoimmunity happen, and autoimmunity is directly linked to stress. So my point being is that we need to go upstream. We cannot react when it's too late. When you already have an autoimmune disorder, it is too late. It's not too late to make it better but from a stress response standpoint and a burnout standpoint, we are too late. We have to go to the beginning. We have to focus on these new leaders coming in and giving them not only the tools to make them a good leader, but giving them the tools to stay in leadership, to stay present and to stay active and to stay healthy, because we're not doing that, and nurse leaders are falling apart, and before they fall too far apart, a lot of them are leaving. And so we're just in healthcare with this never-ending vicious cycle of we bring in a new leader, we give them skills, but we don't take care of that person. We don't give the person the knowledge, skills, and information that they need to build and maintain a really strong foundation. We just pass them along and say, okay, here's your unit, here's your department, have at it. We're going to teach you how to be a leader, we're going to put you with a mentor. That mentor is not doing the groundwork that needs to happen, the foundational work that needs to happen. Like, what does your sleep look like? When's the last time you saw the sunshine? When's the last time you had a social interaction that didn't necessarily involve in processed foods, extreme amounts of sugar, endless caffeine, or endless alcohol? When's the last time you disconnected from screen time, social media? These questions are not being asked, and we're wondering why 1, 2, 3 years down the road from somebody becoming a new leader, they are physically, mentally, emotionally crumbling to the ground, leaving their position, leaving their department stranded, leaving their leader looking for a new leader, to have to then start the cycle again. So we are coming in way, way, way too far downstream when problems are already started, and we need to move upstream. So your next question is probably, well, how do we move upstream? The unfortunate truth is that while burnout is a systemic problem, we know it is. It is not an individual flaw. You did not just wake up one day and have the genetic code for burnout. It just happens, and it happens more often than we are talking about. But my friends, unfortunately, until we change the bigger healthcare system, the solution is going to come from you. You are going to have to be the nurse leader who recognizes that this is happening, and you are going to have to be the one that solves your burnout. Because your hospital, your organization is putting out things like, do it yourself stress management. And here's a website to go look at all these ways to do it. And here's maybe if you're lucky and you work at a really awesome place, you're getting like lunch and learns, or you're getting webinars about like how to do it. But no one is sitting there with you, walking the path with you to customize exactly how to rebuild and solidify your foundation. You have to be the one to do it. Now, that is why I've decided to do the work that I want to do, because when I was burned out, I would have paid and done anything to find somebody to help me with this. I had to do it by myself. And I know how busy people are. It should not be the individual's responsibility. But that's how we have to start. We have to start with the individual so that we can eventually grow to the system. Because the system is never going to recognize it so long as they have another person to put in your seat when you burn out and leave. And unfortunately, if you develop some chronic condition because of the overwhelming stress that you went through during burning out, you are going to have to be the one that's going to have to live with that chronic condition for the rest of your life. I burned out. I developed an autoimmune disease. That autoimmune disease is going to be with me forever. Yes, I might be able to get it better and I might be able to be symptom free. It's still probably going to be with me for a very, very, very long time. And so when I say that I wish I had somebody who could walk with me and help me rebuild my foundation, I didn't know that at the time. I know that now. And I wish somebody had told me this. I wish there was a video like this that existed when I was burning out. and I was looking and turning to any sort of solution. And all I knew at the time was maybe I just need to be a better leader. Maybe I just need to do this thing on my unit. Maybe that will solve my burnout. Maybe if I support my staff in this way, it'll reduce my levels of burnout. Maybe if and I just turned to nursing and I said, how, like, maybe if I just am doing something different with nursing leadership, things will turn around. No. I needed to work on me. I needed to go back and assess my foundation, what was going on with me. But I didn't do this until like almost a year after I burned out because I didn't know how to. I didn't have no idea how to do this at the time. And so here we are. But I think in seeing many different types of nurse leaders burn out, it's not the same type of person that's burning out. It's not the same hospital system. It's not even the same region. Like, this is widespread. It is rampant, and it is not going to get any better because, unfortunately, a free or reduced gym membership or a gym on campus is not going to solve your burnout. But that's what the hospitals are doing because that's all they know how to do. They're giving a one-size-fits-all solution to everybody and hoping that it helps. And it's not really helping. You have to get to the root cause of what is causing your burnout, and you have to start from the bottom and start rebuilding all the way to the top so you can have a very robust and internally personalized plan and system in place to not only handle burnout, but to come back from burnout. And so, my friends, if you have stuck with me for this entire video, in the link, I'm going to put a life pillar assessment in the link. If you want to fill it out and see where you're at, fill it out. It could be eye-opening. If you want to take it a step further, fill it out, email it back to me. I'll include the email in the link. And then we'll set up a call. We'll jump on a call. It'll be completely free. And we'll be able to kind of see where your foundation is at. If working with me would benefit with you, or if there are some pointers that I can just give you to get you started. I really, truly believe that burnout is a systematic problem that the individuals are suffering with. But until we start getting some traction at an individual level, the system itself is not going to change. So feel free to do the assessment, figure out where you're landing with all of this and where your foundation is. If it's completely crumbling, you're not alone. You're not alone. Let's jump on a call. Let's see how I can help you. But know that it's got to start with you, and it's got to start with your foundation. And once you start rebuilding that, sky's the limit. All right, everybody. Have an awesome day. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.